For more than 3 decades, fans of the legendary Western film Tombstone have wondered what really happened behind the scenes of one of Hollywood's most unforgettable movies. Released in 1993, Tombstone became more than just a Western. It became a cultural classic, remembered for its powerful performances, emotional moments, and unforgettable characters. But behind the famous gunfights, dramatic speeches, and legendary cowboy moments was a story filled with challenges, pressure, and secrets that many fans never discovered. And one actor who played a major role in making this movie unforgettable was Sam Elliott. Known for his deep voice, iconic mustache, and legendary presence in Western films, Sam Elliott brought a unique style to the character of Virgil Earp. His performance felt natural, calm, and authentic. While other characters brought explosive energy to the screen, Elliott's Virgil Earp represented control, experience, and quiet strength. For years, fans have talked about the chemistry between the Tombstone cast, including Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer, and Sam Elliott. But many people still do not know the difficult journey that happened before the cameras started rolling. The making of Tombstone 1993 was not as smooth as audiences might imagine. Behind the scenes, the production faced many challenges, including creative disagreements, script changes, and pressure to create a movie that would stand out in a crowded Hollywood market. Many classic films have hidden stories, but Tombstone behind the scenes reveals a movie made by people who truly cared about the final result. Sam Elliott's role in the movie was especially important because he represented the traditional Western hero. His character was not the loudest person in the room, but his presence was always powerful. This is one reason why so many fans still search for Sam Elliott Tombstone moments decades later. The movie was based around the famous events involving Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday, and the gunfight at the OK Corral. But instead of simply telling a historical story, the film created unforgettable characters that audiences connected with emotionally. One of the biggest reasons Tombstone movie secrets continue to interest fans is because the actors brought something personal to their roles. They were not just reading lines from a script. They were creating characters that would become part of Hollywood history. Sam Elliott has often spoken about his love for Western films and the importance of making characters feel believable. His approach was simple: respect the story, respect the character, and let the performance speak for itself. Many fans believe that the strength of Tombstone came from the balance between its different characters. While Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday became one of the most talked about performances in Western movie history, Sam Elliott's Virgil Earp provided the emotional foundation that helped hold the story together. But what happened during filming? What challenges did the cast face? And why does Tombstone movie secrets still attract millions of fans around the world even after 30 years? As the years passed, Tombstone 1993 became one of those rare movies that continued gaining more respect long after its release. Many films disappear after a few years, but this Western remained alive because fans kept discovering new details, new conversations, and new stories about its making. One of the biggest reasons behind the movie's lasting success was the incredible chemistry between the Tombstone cast. Every actor brought something different to the story. While some characters were intense and unpredictable, others brought calmness and stability. Among them, Sam Elliott's performance stood out because he understood the power of silence. Virgil Earp was not a character who needed dramatic speeches or constant attention. Instead, Sam Elliott created a man who carried responsibility on his shoulders. He showed the pressure of being a lawman trying to protect his family while dealing with dangerous enemies. This is one of the reasons why fans still search for Sam Elliott Tombstone interviews and behind-the-scenes moments. They want to understand how an actor creates such a believable character. For Sam Elliott, Western movies were not something new. Throughout his career, he became known as one of Hollywood's greatest Western actors. His voice, appearance, and acting style naturally connected with the genre. But Tombstone gave him an opportunity to be part of a story that would become legendary. Behind the scenes, making the movie required dedication from everyone involved. The production team wanted the film to feel authentic. They paid attention to costumes, locations, weapons, and the overall atmosphere because they wanted audiences to feel like they had traveled back in time. Many Tombstone movie secrets are connected to the amount of effort the cast and crew put into making the world believable. The actors trained, studied their characters, and worked to create performances that felt natural instead of forced. One interesting part of the movie's history is the way the actors developed their relationships during filming. Great movies often come from great teamwork, and Tombstone behind the scenes showed how important collaboration was. Kurt Russell's Wyatt Earp brought leadership and determination. Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday became one of the most memorable characters because of his unique personality and emotional depth. Sam Elliott's Virgil Earp added another layer by showing the serious side of the Earp family. Together, these performances created a balance that made the movie special. Many fans also believe that the emotional strength of Tombstone came from the fact that the characters felt human. They were not perfect heroes. They had fears, weaknesses, and personal struggles. That made audiences care about them. Sam Elliott understood this completely. Instead of playing Virgil Earp as just another cowboy character, he focused on the emotions behind the role. He showed a man who wanted peace but knew that sometimes difficult choices had to be made. This deeper approach is what separated Tombstone from many other Western films. Over the years, interviews with the cast have revealed how much passion went into the project. These stories became part of the larger collection of Hollywood secrets that fans love discovering. Classic movies often have hidden moments that audiences never notice while watching. Sometimes it is a small acting choice, a behind-the-scenes challenge, or a decision that changed the entire movie. These details make fans return again and again. For Tombstone movie facts lovers, every interview and story adds another piece to the puzzle. Another reason the film remains popular is because it introduced a new generation to the Western genre. At a time when many people thought Western movies were fading away, Tombstone proved that audiences still wanted powerful stories about loyalty, courage, and justice. Sam Elliott's performance became a reminder that a character does not need the most screen time to make a lasting impact. Sometimes the quietest person in the story can leave the strongest impression. Even after 30 years, fans continue discussing the movie because it represents something bigger than entertainment. It represents a time when filmmakers focused on characters, storytelling, and memorable performances. And when people talk about the greatest Western movies ever made, Tombstone 1993 is almost always part of that conversation. But there are still many details about the film that even longtime fans may have missed. From small character choices to unexpected moments during production, the real story behind Tombstone behind the scenes is just as fascinating as the movie itself. And Sam Elliott's journey in this unforgettable Western remains one of the reasons why this film continues to live on. When audiences first watched Tombstone 1993, many people focused on the action, the famous gunfights, and the unforgettable performances. But over time, fans started looking deeper into the movie. They began noticing the small details that made the characters feel real and the moments that turned this Western into a Hollywood classic. One of those details was the way Sam Elliott approached Virgil Earp. Instead of trying to compete with the louder personalities around him, Elliott created a character who felt grounded and realistic. His performance showed that strength does not always come from being the most aggressive person in the room. Sometimes, true strength comes from patience, experience, and knowing when to act. This is why many fans consider Sam Elliott's role one of the hidden strengths of the film. When people search for Sam Elliott Tombstone, they are not only looking for famous scenes. They are looking for the story behind the actor's approach and what made his performance so memorable. Throughout his career, Sam Elliott has built a reputation as an actor who respects storytelling. Whether he is playing a cowboy, a father, or a man facing difficult decisions, he brings a sense of honesty to every role. His connection with Western movies comes from understanding the values often found in these stories: loyalty, courage, honor, and sacrifice. That connection helped make his role in Tombstone feel authentic. Another reason the movie became so popular is because every member of the Tombstone cast added something unique. The film did not depend on one single performance. Instead, it was the combination of different personalities that created something unforgettable. Kurt Russell's Wyatt Earp represented determination and leadership. Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday brought humor, intelligence, and tragedy. Sam Elliott's Virgil Earp represented responsibility and family. Together, these characters created a story that audiences could emotionally connect with. Many fans who study Tombstone movie secrets often talk about how the actors transformed historical figures into characters people still remember today. The movie was not just about events from the past. It was about relationships, choices, and the consequences of those choices. The behind-the-scenes journey of the film is also a major reason for its legendary status. Like many great movies, Tombstone behind the scenes had challenges. Creating a large-scale Western required teamwork, dedication, and patience. The cast and crew had to work together to bring the old American West to life. The costumes, locations, and action sequences all helped create a world that felt believable. But the heart of the movie came from the actors themselves. One of the biggest lessons from Tombstone is that memorable movies are created by people who believe in the story. The cast did not simply show up, say their lines, and leave. They invested themselves into their characters. That passion is one reason why new audiences continue discovering the movie decades later. Today, younger viewers who were not even born when the film was released are watching it for the first time. They are discovering the same things longtime fans loved: powerful performances, emotional storytelling, and characters that feel larger than life. This is why Tombstone 1993 remains one of the most searched classic Western movies online. Fans continue looking for Sam Elliott interview moments because they want to hear from the people who created the magic. They want to know what it was like making a film that would eventually become a favorite for millions. The popularity of the movie also proves something important about Hollywood. A film does not always become successful because of a huge budget.